this is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome to the C. Jane Sell podcast,
a relatable sales podcast for your weekly dose of sanity. I'm your host, Chelsea Dupre.
And I'm your host, Lee Nevis. Hello and welcome to another episode of the C. Jane Sell podcast. We are super stoked to have you here. I'm Lee.
I'm Chelsea.
And thanks for joining us again. Thank you for sticking with us. We're really appreciative of you. This week we have an incredible guest. I'm sure you've probably heard of her because she has a huge following. She does incredible work. And I'm going to let Chelsea intro her and we will get talking to Hope.
Yes, we have the one and the only HopeScope official, also known as Hope Allen. And we're so happy to have you on the show. Hope, you can say hi.
I'm so excited to be here. Did you know I've never done a podcast before? This is my very first one.
Yay!
We're honored. I cannot believe that. That's incredible.
I feel honored. I'm so excited. I actually don't get out much, so this is a really good opportunity for me. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Well, I want to tell everyone how I know you or of you or fangirled over you. So
Perfect.
So I went to Utah State where Hope's husband actually went, and he was in a fingerboard theory class, and we were in class together, and anyways, we became friends, and we've stayed in contact over the years, and I saw that he got married, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I did like the creepy friend thing. I was like, your wife is so beautiful, and I just watched her YouTube channel, and she's amazing. And so that's how I got to know Hope, and she does reviews on athleisure wear, and now she actually has her own clothing line, which is freaking phenomenal and so stinking cute, and you do all of the things. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, thank you. That was the sweetest intro ever. I think you kind of covered it. Basically, I make videos in my basement with my cute dog, Leo, and we talk about leggings. And it's so much fun. We have so much fun with it. But it's very awkward when people ask me, what do I do for a living? I'm like, well, I talk about leggings. It sounds really boring, but I promise we have a really good time with it. So that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years or so. And then, like you said, I just came out with a little clothing line, and it's been a really good time.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. I mean, you've kind of created like an empire, though, with this like in the legging world, I think. So what kind of inspired you to start this in the beginning?
Oh, the beginning. So I would definitely not say that I was an overnight success, but it's been about just over 2 years, and I was able to go from a dental assistant that was making below poverty level income to a YouTuber with over 250,000 subscribers, and I quintupled. Is that not the one above quadrupled? Quintupled,
yep.
I think.
Yeah,
But,
yes.
I think you're right.
It's been really exciting, and my passion kind of found me, actually. I feel like there's this big push to find your passion, but sometimes it just stumbles upon you when you least expect it. So we went on a family trip to Lake Powell, and I thought it would just be fun to make a little video about it and just have something that would be cute to look back on. And I posted the video, and my friends and family were telling me how good it was, and I had so much fun making it that I decided to try making some other stuff. And I actually made a couple videos. I made like a makeup review video, which is now archived because it was so embarrassing. And then I think I made like a smoothie recipe video, which also was so embarrassing and so awkward. And then I came up with an idea to compare 2 different brands of leggings, and I made that video, I posted it, and it actually did really well, and it got quite a few, it was still awkward and awful. It's still up if you want to go watch it, but it kind of took off, and I had so much fun with it that I made more of those videos.
Here you are.
So that's kind of how it got started.
That's incredible. So if you were to tell anyone who, because like we have a lot of people that follow us and listen to us that are, you know, in network marketing, I guess, and in like a social, like they want to build their social platform. If you could give people, if you could only tell people like 3 things, like these are the 3 things that I did that helped me create the page that I have now, what would you say to people?
Yeah, it actually, I think it took about 6 months. There's a threshold for YouTube when they send you your first paycheck. You have to hit $100 worth of AdSense revenue. So the ads that play before the videos, that's how you get paid. It took me 6 months to get my first $100. So it definitely took a while, but it's paid off now. But I would say the 3 pieces of advice that I would give is 1, just start. 2, be patient, and 3, have confidence. So as far as just starting, if you want to be a YouTuber, just make the video. If you want to be a podcaster, podcast. If you want to be a blogger, just start writing. I get DMs all the time from people that tell me that they have this dream or this passion, something that they want to start, and then following that DM is a list of all their excuses, and I just tell them, just start with what you have. It doesn't matter if you don't have the perfect equipment or the perfect setup, or even if you don't think that you have a perfect knowledge of whatever it is that you want to start, just go with it. That passion will take you, and there's plenty of online free tools that you can use. And then being patient. So I don't know if you've heard of Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule, and basically it's just stating that it takes 10,000 hours of doing something to become an expert in it. And I don't really take that literally, but the idea behind it is just that you have to put a ton of time into something in order to become an expert in it. So looking back on my career, if I look back at hour 1 of when I started my YouTube channel, I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally watching a YouTube video on how to import a file from my camera into my iMovie. And then at about hour 12 of editing, all of my work disappeared. All of those hours of trying to create a project was gone, and I had to start completely over. And I learned a very valuable lesson about using autosave. And hundreds of hours later, I finally started to see my work pay off, and thousands of hours later, I am where I am today, which is being considered somewhat of an expert in my field. And I think that goes for literally any field or market that you're in. And then the last thing, being confident. I would almost say that this was the most important thing, and this is the reason that I am where I am today. It's because I bet really big on myself, and there wasn't a shadow of doubt in my mind that I was going to become a successful YouTuber. And I think a lot of people thought I was crazy, but I had that confidence in myself. And when I would film, I would pretend that there were millions of people watching me instead of 50. I don't even think I had 100 subscribers when I first started doing legging reviews, but I didn't act like it. I acted like I already had 4 million subscribers. And I would never put myself down on camera. I see a lot of people doing that. They'll be filming a video and they'll say something like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Don't do that. Because that passion and that confidence and that energy shows through, and that's what makes people want to keep watching you. And they're not going to believe it unless you do.
I freaking
so those
love
would
that.
be my 3 main pieces of advice.
Okay, well, that's pretty much all we need to hear, so thanks a lot.
See, all that sweet advice.
That was a lot of knowledge you just dropped, so we're good.
Also, disclaimer, I'm really comfortable talking on camera, but I'm not used to having someone talk back, so if you ever want me to just shut up, you can tell me.
No, this is great. You're doing fabulous.
No, this is amazing.
Big fan. So, I want to ask you, how did the process go? Like, you come to where you are now, so how did you get there? Like, you got your first 6 months, it took you to get $100. And then what was the process? Were people reaching out to you? Were brands reaching out to you? Were people like, hey, can I be in advertising for you? How did that go?
Yeah, I started having a few clothing brands reach out to me, and I wasn't getting paid for it or anything, but they just said, hey, we'll send you some free stuff if you do a video. And that started happening pretty early on. I think I only had maybe 2,000 subscribers when the first clothing company reached out to me, and that was the most surreal thing when I started getting free clothes and getting paid for something that I loved so much. So, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, the brands will just kind of come to you. It's pretty cool.
That's dope. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your plan? Like, you're not just going to stop here. Obviously, you started with doing reviews, and now you have your Instagram content, and now you have a clothing line, and you affiliate / are friends with Buff Bunny, which is like a dream. So that's pretty cool on its own. But so where's your goal? Where do you want to be?
I just want to keep going. I just want to keep building this community that I've created, and I would love to have my own clothing line someday. So right now I'm kind of just getting my feet wet and getting as much knowledge as possible about this industry so that someday I can have the best activewear line.
Yes.
That's kind of the goal, I would say. But for now, I'm just having so much fun making videos, and they're starting to get more personal too. I'm starting to leave my little YouTube setup and go out into the world, and that's been really fun, doing more kind of vlog style videos.
That's really cool.
That's incredible. When you're thinking ahead about your clothing line and your brand that you want to make, are there any other brands that you follow right now that you really admire, that you get really stoked and like inspired when you look at?
Yeah, there's a lot. I actually follow quite a few influencers on Instagram that have started their own brands, and that has been so cool that they have just created this brand with hundreds of thousands of fans from absolutely nothing. So I would say those are the most inspirational to me, I guess. Brands like Petula or Balance Athletica, I don't know if you've heard of those, but they were all just started by just girls like you and I that created something amazing that has this great fan base. They're great products, and you can just see the passion behind it. I mean, I'm all for brands like Nike or Lululemon that are these big corporations, but it's just really cool when you actually get to see the people behind it and where it all started.
Yeah, the girl that does Petula, her workout videos, like, I need to go to the gym. Inspiring.
Very inspiring.
Like, I'm gonna put down this cookie and I'm going to drink some water now.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, I think that going back to what you said about just doing it and just starting it, I think that is so important, and that's something that, I mean, we're very, very new into the whole podcasting world, and we are getting people all the time, like, now asking us, like, how did you do this? Like, what did you do? And we're like, we don't know. We just got on Google, and we were like, how do you make a podcast? Like, you know?
Seriously.
And I think that you're a total testament to, you don't have to be an expert, but if you're willing to put in the time, if you're willing to put in the effort, and if you're willing to actually start something, like, you can achieve, like, whatever you set out to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously in the beginning when you started, it was just you. Do you, now that you are building this huge brand, do you have a team of people that you are working with right now, or are you still doing this all on your own?
I don't, and I would say that is 100% my biggest weakness. I'm such a control freak. I really need to hire a team. I would say that's honestly been my biggest mistake in business thus far, is there's a lot of little trivial things that I should be delegating to other people and paying them to do it for me so I can spend my time on other things, but I do everything. I film my videos, I edit my videos, I have my own fulfillment center, so every person that places a clothing order, I'm packing it and sending it out to them. I don't recommend that.
Oh my gosh, woman.
It's been a learning experience, so that's kind of my goal this year, is to form a little HopeScope team, so I'll definitely be reaching out in the future.
That's incredible.
Finding some assistance and stuff. But,
that's rad.
Yeah.
And do you run all your social media too?
Yep, all of it. Yeah, I answer all my emails.
That is unreal.
That's freaking
impressive.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
So is this like your main thing now, is HopeScope Official doing this?
Yeah, so I started out, like I said, I was a dental assistant, and I was also going to school full time, and eventually it got to the point where I was making more money from YouTube and stuff than I was being a dental assistant, and I was having so much more fun doing it, so I quit that job. And then I was doing YouTube in school, and then I realized, why am I going to school for accounting when that's not what I want to do? Like, I love creating things, so I just dropped out of college altogether, and this has become my full-time job, which is awesome.
That's
incredible.
Yeah. So do you think you'll ever, like, put together, I know there's a lot of brands are people that put together workshops. Is that anything that you'd ever be interested in doing for business women that are trying to start their own thing? Maybe doing a workshop for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually did a poll on Instagram. Nobody knows why I did it, but I'll tell you. I was thinking of doing a giveaway because I have my first camera that I ever started with filming and some other equipment. And I was thinking, like, maybe there's a girl out there that could use this stuff and could use some, like, coaching. So I was going to do a giveaway and do, like, some Skype coaching and give them some equipment and get them started. And I did a poll to see how many people have wanted to start a YouTube channel or have one and don't really know where to go with it. And I got hundreds of responses from people that wanted help. So I still want to do that giveaway, but yeah, I think it'd be so cool to do something to help people kind of get them started.
That's incredible. And it's really, really admirable and awesome that you're doing that, like, with the intention of helping another woman out, you know?
Yeah,
like,
nobody helped me. I'm like, I would have loved to have that. I think it'd be really cool.
That's incredible. What do you think are a couple of misconceptions that people have about YouTubers? Because I think there's a different connotation that's behind, you know, being an influencer and being a YouTuber. What do you get the most that you are like, no, that's false?
Yeah, I still hate the term influencer. I don't think I've ever called myself that. I like to say I'm a creator.
I'm a creator.
I love that.
There's a lot of, there's a little bit of negative connotation with being an influencer. I think the main thing is people don't think we work. They think that we just get a lot from nothing. And also back to the whole overnight success thing, there's no such thing as an overnight success. Every person you see that you think that's the case, it was years in the making. But yeah, I would say that people don't know how much work actually goes into it until they actually try to do it themselves.
That's great. So when you walk around your street, are like people are like, oh my gosh, it's HopeScope.
Sometimes. I think my favorite experience was we were on a flight to Hawaii and we sat down, there's this girl next to me with her headphones in, and I pulled out my laptop and started editing, and she like leaned over and looked at my laptop, and then she like did a double take and looked at me and looked back at my laptop and was like, oh my gosh, your HopeScope. I was like, what are the chances that the person next to me on the plane watches my videos? So that was really fun.
We have like 96,000 followers, so probably
you're destined to run into one.
I still don't feel like I'm a big deal, so when stuff like that happens, it's really, really cool.
That's awesome. What does Tyler say? He's like, yeah, girl, that's what's up.
Oh my gosh, he's so supportive. He's the person that, like, will meet someone and he's like, hey, she does YouTube, go subscribe, give me your phone, I'll pull up her channel, hit that red subscribe. I'm like, Tyler, settle down.
That is so sweet.
So supportive.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So you're talking a little about the negative. How do you overcome haters? Because people can just suck. Like, if we're being honest.
Really, really can. That was probably one of my biggest struggles or obstacles in the beginning, was the negativity from strangers. That just, it would blow my mind that a complete stranger would say something. I don't know. And then I kind of changed my mindset and I started putting myself in their shoes, and I was thinking there could be anybody on the other side of this screen. They could be really struggling with something, or for all I know, they could be a 12-year-old. So I never really fire back for that reason, just because you never know what's going on in someone's life, so it's not worth attacking them.
Yeah.
So those comments have started to roll off, but the one thing that really was hard in the beginning was when I would get unfollowed by my friends and family.
What?
So I've actually had other people reach out to me, and they're like, hey, I just started like a fitness account or whatever, and a bunch of people are unfollowing me. And I'm like, yeah, that happened to me too. And chances are those same people are probably talking about you behind your back, but I say let them talk. Give them something to talk about, because you never know. Someday they might be creeping on your Insta stories or entering your Instagram giveaways.
Oh my god.
That's a really good thing.
That was hard, but
yeah, that's a really important thing to bring up, because I think that anyone who is starting something on social media, you most likely already use social media. So you know, like, you have your personal page, and when you transition that into more of a business, I think it is like people get really worried about what will my friends think, what will my family think.
100%. Yeah.
And I think that, but at the end of the day, you have to know that if your friends are your real friends, they're going to support you. You know, like, if your family is really going to be there for you, like, they're going to support you. So That's crazy you had to go through that, though. But I feel like it's just so common. It's so awful.
I know.
Too many haters.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is that your dog behind you?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, hi,
Oh my gosh, you all can't see this, but this is the most adorable dog I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's like a life-size teddy bear.
Is it a golden
I
doodle?
know, he really is.
Oh my gosh.
How freaking sweet. Yeah, you guys have to go onto her Instagram page, HopeScope, and look at that pup.
Yep, he's a cutie.
So
Or he has his own Instagram, HopeScope Official, because I'm that girl.
That's incredible.
That is amazing. So tell us what is something that you do, that you give advice for, like, what gets you in a creative mindset? Where do you go for positivity and a creative outlet?
Honestly, it's nothing too deep. I've had a lot of people ask me how to get started or how to get over the nerves and stuff. And literally, I don't do it as much anymore, but when I started filming my first videos, I would take a shot of pre-workout and I would blast the music and dance around my room, and then I would sit down to film, just because it gets like the endorphins pumping and the energy pumping. Like there's no secret like ritual that I do before, but sometimes you just gotta get yourself in the
Pumped
mindset.
Yeah, I like
a
it.
little bit of caffeine or sugar helps with that.
That's incredible. And
that is funny.
we've actually talked about that before. One of our first episodes, we talked about how to begin and like how to begin a task and how to begin your day. And I think it's the most important thing is like whatever works for you, do that thing. You know, you don't have to like, if you don't like meditation, don't do meditation.
Yeah, or like if you're a planner and you have to write everything down step by step, that's great. I am not that person. I used to do that. I'd kind of like script out my whole video, but I just had a lot more fun, and I feel like it came off more natural when I just started talking. So just totally depends.
That's freaking awesome.
That is.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing to do on your downtime?
Oh, I was going to say shopping, but that's almost part of my job. I love to eat. Tyler and I literally go out to eat probably 3 or 4 times a week. We don't have kids, so I feel like we can take advantage of that.
1,000%.
I love to eat. We love to travel. I love outdoor sports like wakeboarding and snowboarding, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you guys, did you recently move from?
Yeah, we went to Idaho, from Montana to Idaho.
And how did that affect your business, or did it at all?
It doesn't. That's kind of the cool thing about my job. We actually moved for his job, but I can do my job anywhere, which is awesome.
That is freaking awesome.
If anything, it's better because I'm kind of closer to some bigger cities and stuff like that. But
well, that is great. So is there any advice that you would give anybody who is listening to this that you just feel like you should share, or that you've learned along the way?
Like I said, just start and surround yourself with positive influences and people that can help you for sure. Like I said, that's something that I've really struggled with, especially living in Montana, the middle of nowhere. It was really hard for me to find any sort of mentor or people to help me, but I have my husband, and he's probably been one of the best positive influences in my life and in my career. And then a lot of my advice and mentors I actually got from podcasts and books and stuff, so I would definitely suggest those kinds of things. But yeah, just have confidence, be patient. I loved in one of your previous podcasts, actually, this just reminded me, you said something along the lines of, so many podcasts are so Wolf of Wall Street and wake up, grind, but that's not always how it is. So I love those podcasts, and I'll watch them and I'll feel all motivated, and then I'll switch to my other window and finish watching The Bachelor. So I think definitely surround yourself by those positive influences and those motivational influences, but don't be too hard on yourself, and be patient. If things go wrong, that's not the end. Tyler has really taught me that if things seem like they're going really bad, that usually means that something really good is going to happen.
That's great.
One of my favorite quotes is from one of my favorite books, Think and Grow Rich, and it's, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. So yeah, it just comes down to taking those struggles and that adversity and realizing that something good is going to come out of it. Because that's the other problem. I see these girls try to start a business or a YouTube channel, or they get involved in one of the multi-level marketing companies, and then they just give up way too soon when there's so much potential for it. So just keep pushing is my advice.
Absolutely. I think another really big thing is who you surround yourself with. So are you pretty picky with who you let in your circle, and maybe
absolutely.
cutting those people out? Is there anybody you've had to cut out of your circle that was hard for you?
Yeah, more so before all the YouTube stuff, because, like you said, I've been pretty picky with who I let in. I have my very close group, and that is plenty for me. I see a lot of YouTubers that have this huge social circle, and I don't think I want that. I like my people that I know and love and trust, and I'm good with that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, Hope, we know you are so busy, and we're so happy that you came on our show.
Oh, seriously, thank you so much.
Yes, the breath of fresh air. Yes. So we if you want to tell everybody where they can find you and tell us a little bit about your clothes and that, and then we'll let you get going with your Friday.
Cool. So I am just HopeScope on YouTube. If you search that, you should be able to find me. And then HopeScope on Instagram as well. And I just started a clothing line, and it's shophopescope.com. And so far, it's been really fun. It's pretty simple so far. It's just sweatshirts and hoodies and t-shirts and hats and stuff, but it's been really fun. It's been a good way to get my community involved in a way that they can support Leo and I'm really excited to see what it turns into. We have some joggers coming out in a month or two, and then hopefully someday some leggings, but they're gonna have to be perfect.
Yes.
Nice.
Pass that squat test.
Yes. That's incredible. Well, Hope, again, seriously, thank you so much. We'll put all of Hope's information in our in the details in the description, so you all can easily find her. We cannot wait to watch you grow even more than you already have. So seriously, absolute best of luck.
Yes, go get it, girl.
Like, you are just an inspiration, and you're incredible. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Same to you guys. I'm excited to see you guys grow as well.
Thank you. Thanks you guys for tuning in today. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review. We're at CJ and Cell Podcast on Instagram. Give us a follow, send us a DM, become our best friends. We love new friends. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week.
Bye.